Hi, my name is Chanda, and I just wanted to share with you some of the dreams that I've been having. But before I do, I just want to give praises to God and to Jesus. He's real. Trust me on it. He really is. I've been writing down my dreams for the last couple of years because I started noticing that some of the things in them were coming true, and I like to keep a record of it. And this dream that I had on March 27th of 2017, it basically was like I was at a party and there was this little baby in the crib by itself, and so I picked up the baby and I was carrying him through the party, and he was so cute and so small. So I was carrying him around, and then there was this like sound, this loud commotion, and as there was this commotion, it was as if the roof had been lifted off the top of the building, and everybody was looking up into the sky. And so we're all looking up, and then the city was like coming down. It was like a crystal clear city, just kind of slowly coming down from the sky. And then everybody's like wondering what it is, and then these like light crosses just started shooting from the city down to us, and I was like, oh, it's Jesus. Jesus is coming. This is what I said in the dream. Jesus, it's Jesus. Jesus is coming. And I was so excited, and I was, trying to tell everybody that was at the party, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming. But nobody wanted to listen to me. They just wanted to go back to partying. So that's what they did. So that was that dream. Then about 6 months later, I was reading Revelations, and I saw that it said the New Jerusalem is going to be made of jasper, and that jasper is crystal clear. So that's a crystal clear city coming out of the sky, which was exactly what I dreamed. So to me, seeing that months later when I had never read Revelations before, that is confirmation. It's also interesting how God uses those that, you would never imagine. You just wouldn't imagine. So anyway, that was the dream. So I firmly believe that he is coming back, and it may even be in our lifetime. I'm thinking it is, since the dreams keep coming. So that was the first dream. I also had another dream of standing on a balcony on New Year's Eve in a pink building and looking up and seeing something in the sky and realizing that it was Jesus. And I was telling everybody, Jesus is on his way. He's almost here. He's on his way. So that was another dream that I had. Then, what was that? June 28th, 2018, I had a dream that I was in this, it's a big room, but you couldn't see the ceilings because the ceilings were just like so tall, and the room was massive. And there was like a archway, kind of like a doorway, and this person, thing, entity, buildings, it kind of looked like a building, and it glided, but it was everything, and it was also kind of like a person almost. It glided through the doorway, and I could sense and hear the word Egypt. And then a few minutes later, or a few seconds later, came another person, entity, huge, massive thing, but it dwarfed Egypt. I mean, Egypt was like this. And, the next thing that came through the door, it was Jesus. And I could look up and see his face, and he was so beautiful, so handsome. His face was glowing, dark brown skin with a reddish kind of tone to it, but there was also like a glow. And I was like in shock. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Jesus. And then I looked around, and Egypt passed away. And that I heard those words in the dream. Egypt passed away as Jesus came through the door. So, and that was that part. And then I looked around, and I saw these people that were like being prepared for something. And it was all these black people dressed in blue, like a royal blue, navy blue, with gold clothing. Everything was blue and gold. Beautiful colors. The women were dressed in gorgeous dresses with blue, with the gold beading and all that. It was really, really pretty. And they were kind of like standing together, getting ready. And then on the left-hand side was like a group of women, kind of like in an audience almost. And then there was and then like on the other side of them was kind of like almost like a stage, but not a stage. I don't really have the words for it, but there was a big throne sitting on there. And I saw Jesus like move to that throne. He didn't walk, he kind of glided, but then it was just like within a second, like boom, and then he's on this on that throne. And then in front of it there were like two little seats. And I mean seats like that, you know, in comparison. And I was moved onto one of those seats, and I felt like so unworthy to even be talking to him, looking at him, and he was talking to me, but he wasn't using words or his mouth. It was as if he was putting the thoughts directly in my head, and whatever he told me in the dream, I was trying to kind of argue with him and say, no, I can't do that. I'm not worthy. And I was trying to explain to him why I wasn't worthy enough to do whatever it is that he put in my mind. And I was just like, but he just kind of laughed it off. And the smile and that he gave me was just so full of love and encouragement. And before I could argue anymore, it was like I was moved off of that seat. I think it was a hot seat, but not really hot. I was moved off of that seat, and then I was back into the audience with all those other women. And then there was another woman coming off of the seat because she was also went up there, like I guess right after I did. But her talk with him was really quick. And I said, oh, well, what did he say to you? And she's like, oh, he told me to ask for more next time. And I was like, oh, yeah, I should ask for more too. And then I was leaving, and Jesus had given me these papers. And on the papers were flowers and honeycombs. And I got onto this elevator. Oh, also in the dream, I had on a turban of some sort, like I had my hair wrapped, and in like a pink, and it was red, and it was like a reddish. It went from like red to pink, red to fuchsia to pink, you know, kind of thing. It was like a graduated color turban, and it was kind of crooked. And I was telling the ladies on there, I was like, how could y'all let me go up there and talk to him when my head is not right, you know, my hair is not right. And so I was kind of not that happy with them. But anyway, so after that, then I went and got on this elevator, and this white lady gets on with her daughter, and she said, oh, well, what did he give you? And I said, oh, he gave me these. And she said, well, what are you going to do with it? And I said, oh, I don't know, I may make earrings, or, you know, open a store, or, you know, do all of this stuff. So I think it must have been like Jesus giving me the okay and giving me a certificate to do whatever it is that I wanted to do. And I looked down at her little girl. The lady was a teacher, and she had a little girl with her, and the little girl was wearing a honeycomb dress. And I looked at my paper that he gave me, and it had honeycombs on it. So I think, this is just my humble opinion, I'm not a Bible scholar or anything, but I believe that Jesus is on his way back, and that if you haven't gotten to know him, you might want to do that. You might want to do that. And if you don't believe in him, you can just you can ask him to show you. You know, ask him. Be humble. Be humble. It's the most important thing that you can do, really, because he's real. He's on his way, and I don't know about you, but I don't want to be on his bad side. I really don't. I've experienced too many miracles and unexplainable things. And then now I see all these videos of people talking about, you know, the 400 years being up for Black people and Egypt and all of this. And, you know, I didn't know when I had the dream that Egypt was a symbol for slavery and all that. I mean, I knew that, you know, the Israelites and the story of the Exodus and everything, but I just didn't expect it to come into me in a dream like that. So I believe he's coming back. He's on his way. He's shown me in a couple of dreams now that he's real and that he's on his way. So I just want to encourage those that are believers to keep the faith, pray, ask him, be vigilant, be careful about the things that you look at, and don't participate in the evil. There's so much evil on TV and in music and things, and he's on his way back. I think the dream that I had where everybody was partying and they didn't want to listen to the fact that he was coming back. I think that has something to do with entertainment and all of that, and how, you know, people are not paying attention. So that's the other thing I wanted to share. And then the last thing I wanted to share is a dream that I had the other night. And in that dream, there were 4 moons. I don't know how else to describe it. I was shopping with my mom, and we were outside, and then I saw this helicopter crash. You know, it hit a tree, it crashed, and then we were like, whoa, what was that? And then it was like everything was chaotic, basically. It was almost like the end of the world. And I looked up and I saw that there were like 4 moons in the sky. And it was as if it was, yeah, it was as if it was the end of the world. Everybody thought it was the end of the world. The dream went on and there was more that happened in it. But later on I looked up and saw that there's several people that are dreaming about multiple moons in the sky. And so I think that God is warning his people. I think he's preparing us. And I just want to say that he's good. He's real. You can depend on him in this life. It's not magic. It's not a lie. It's not make-believe. It's real. And just because science hasn't found a way to confirm that it's real, you never know, they may have and just haven't told us. But just because they haven't confirmed it doesn't mean it's not real. Science is wrong every year. Every year they come out with something new that they've learned about something that they were so sure about before. So I'm just sharing the news with you guys. It's good news. It really is good news. So thanks for listening, and be encouraged. And if you need him, just ask him. Ask him to help you, and he will.